The traditional agency model is fundamentally broken. We've been conditioned to believe that the only way to scale an agency, whether it's SEO, lead generation, content marketing, or software development, is to increase your headcount. You cross a certain revenue threshold, and suddenly your entire schedule is swallowed by human operational overhead. You spend your afternoons writing job descriptions, reviewing resumes, managing payroll, and resolving interpersonal friction. Instead of focusing on strategy or service quality, your core job transforms into managing a workforce. Even worse, your profit margins systematically collapse. For every new client you onboard, you have to hire more account managers, content writers, or data analysts. You are taking on massive organizational risk, increasing your monthly burn rate, and working twice as hard just to maintain a business that feels increasingly fragile. If a major client churns, you're immediately forced to choose between burning through your personal savings or executing painful layoffs. The promise of the zero-employee agency is a complete restructuring of organizational leverage. By decoupling fulfillment from human hours, you can scale your client capacity indefinitely while keeping your operational headcount locked at exactly one, yourself. By combining the linguistic orchestration of Claude with the autonomous multi-agent infrastructure of Relevance AI, you can deploy a digital workforce that operates 24 hours a day, executes complex client workflows with absolute consistency, and drops your operational fulfillment cost to near zero. To build a fully autonomous agency, you have to stop treating AI as a simple conversational chatbot. Typing prompts into a web interface one by one is not automation. It is just another manual task. True scale requires an interconnected ecosystem where specialized digital workers collaborate on multi-step workflows. As illustrated in the system lifecycle layout, an elite agentic ecosystem relies on a structured sequence of specialized nodes. The planning and cognitive layer. Claude, operating via API as the central brain, handling deep reasoning, language translation, context parsing, and quality control. The execution and routing matrix. Relevance AI. Serving as the operating system where these agents are built, providing native integrations with web browsers, databases, email protocols, and communication channels. The validation and optimization feedback loop. Programmatic checkpoints that evaluate outputs before they are pushed to the next phase or delivered to a client dashboard. Instead of a human account manager passing a brief to a human copywriter, your planning agent automatically slices up a project, assigns tasks to your execution agents, and reviews the final deliverables against strict quality parameters. Let's look at how this ecosystem completely automates an entire operational department, starting with B2B lead generation and outreach services. In a legacy agency, you would hire junior virtual assistants to manually research companies, verify email addresses, and draft personalized outreach sequences. We replace this entire billing department by constructing an autonomous multi-agent task loop inside Relevance AI, driven by Claude's API logic. When a raw list of target prospects hits your intake system, the browser research agent instantly opens a headless browser, extracts recent corporate news, maps out their underlying software stack, and pulls deep profile telemetry. This enriched package is then handed over to the Claude parsing agent, which analyzes the gathered data, isolates the exact business pain points, and structures a highly specific pitch sequence. The entire operation executes in under 90 seconds per prospect, running on pure compute loops without a single human touching a keyboard. The second area where agencies waste massive capital is in technical content production. The old framework demands hiring armies of freelance writers, editors, and SEO optimization specialists just to scale a client's monthly publication cadence. We shift this entire operation onto an automated production conveyor belt. Relevance AI provides the raw multi-tool access, while Claude manages the creative curation. The Relevance AI scraping agent crawls your client's top competitor sites, identifies their ranking pages, maps out the core keyword opportunities, and pushes the raw performance data into a central data table. Claude reviews the competitive gaps, determines the exact structural requirements to outrank the target pages, and builds an exhaustive semantic outline for each piece of content. The outline is fed into a specialized writing agent. Claude generates the long-form asset block by block, naturally embedding key search terms, structuring proper header hierarchies, and injecting relevant internal link schemas. A separate validation agent audits the completed copy against your client's internal style guidelines, cross-checks facts against external source links, and automatically deploys the polished draft directly to the client's CMS via webhook. The quality control paradigm. Most AI content fails because a single prompt is asked to do all the writing at once. By breaking production into a multi-agent sequence, where one agent outlines, one writes, and a third ruthlessly edits, the final output matches the precision of an elite human editorial team. If you run a service business, you are likely trapped in a vicious operational cycle. You scale your revenue, you get overwhelmed, you hire more people to handle the work, and your profit margins immediately tank. You have been told that a bigger team is a sign of success, but a massive headcount is actually a massive liability. When you compare the traditional staffing model to an autonomous, compute-driven infrastructure, the old way of building a company completely falls apart. It is no longer a fair fight. Look at those metrics objectively. Under the old framework, your overhead scales linearly with your client list. If you onboard 10 new accounts, you have to hire another account manager or fulfillment specialist just to keep the wheels from falling off. Your velocity is bound to human schedules, your output fluctuates based on employee burnout, and your take-home pay stays permanently squeezed between 20% and 40%. The zero-employee stack flips the entire paradigm. By routing your fulfillment through Cloud APIs and autonomous agents, your overhead stays flat, while your capacity becomes virtually limitless. A task that takes a human team 3 business days to draft, edit, and format is completely executed, fact-checked, and validated by specialized digital nodes in less than 5 minutes. You are trading unpredictable human variables for 100% predictable, protocol-driven execution. When you step back and evaluate agency performance based on scalability, capital efficiency, and operational speed, the legacy human-centric model simply cannot compete with an automated architecture. The core realization of running a business in the current landscape is that accumulating a massive employee headcount is no longer a badge of honor. It is a significant operational bottleneck. Continuing to manage complex fulfillment workflows using manual labor hours when you could be directing a unified digital workforce is a massive drain on your true scaling potential. Your operational challenge for the next 24 hours is to look at your agency's fulfillment process and isolate the single most repetitive workflow you currently assign to an employee or contractor. Open a free workspace on Relevance AI, use Claude's API node to map out the baseline logic rules, and execute your very first automated multi-step task run. If you are ready to completely eliminate hiring headaches and want immediate access to the step-by-step multi-agent templates and prompt blueprints that allow a single founder to manage an enterprise-grade service delivery network, the entire zero-employee agency framework is waiting for you in the description down below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button because in our next architecture breakdown, we are revealing how to construct a fully automated client onboarding system that handles everything from contract creation to live dashboard setup completely on autopilot. See you in the next one.